What's going on, guys? It is Randy with the All Things Mets channel where you get your latest Mets media, guys. We are talking Mets baseball. We are talking the Mets offseason. We are on the Juan Soto watch, baby. The Juan Soto watch. Let me tell you something, man. When it comes to this Juan Soto craziness, this has been crazy. Honestly, Juan Soto's been this news and all that, and this has been insane. Like, to just think about what Juan Soto and and the media and what's happening with Mendoza's son with whole bunch of things. And now you got Brett Baty. Teams are interested in Brett Baty. Teams are interested in Jeff McNeil. So, man, we got a lot to talk about. But, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Hopefully everybody is doing great today. And at the end of the day, we are here to talk some Mets baseball. So, honestly, Juan Soto is someone the Mets need. This is a guy that the Mets desperately need, and let's hope they get him. At the end of the day, we need Juan Soto. Juan Soto is the guy. Juan Soto is supposed to be a Met. I don't care what anyone says, the Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, the Dodgers. The Mets need to get Juan Soto, and it has to happen. It has to happen. And I want it to happen. Of course I want it to happen, but man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. There's been some talk about Mendoza's son. Apparently Mendoza's son leaked an offer from the New York Mets and said that the Mets offered Juan Soto $700 million, 15 years. And that is insane. Like, really insane. I can't believe that Carlos Mendoza's son would leak that information if that is true. Now, we don't know if that is true, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the New York Mets, we got to get him. The Mets need Juan Soto, man. Like, they need this guy. They got to get Juan Soto, and it feels like, or it seems from the reports and what we're hearing, that Steve Cohen is going to do everything that he can in his power to get Juan Soto. Everything in his power to get Juan Soto. And Juan Soto is supposed to be a Met. Steve Cohen wants to make him a Met. He wants to make him a Met. And I hope that, Steve Cohen finally gets that big free agent that he wants. And I really do. I really hope he does that. Because just imagine a team with Juan, the Mets with Juan Soto. I mean, just imagine it. It's going to be insane to watch Juan Soto in Queens. And the fact that even if they get this guy over the Yankees, over the Dodgers, over the Boston Red Sox, that is going to send a message to the league basically saying, we are here to play, baby. We are here to play. We are here to do business. We're here to do what we need to do. And, man, when it comes to the Mets, I am happy that we have Steve Cohen as our owner. I really am, because I know there's obviously teams that have, there's teams that have money, but Steve Cohen has a lot of money, man. He has a lot of money. The Dodgers have money. The Red Sox have money. Apparently, a lot of people have money. But when it comes to Steve Cohen, you got to land Juan Soto. It just has to happen. It has to happen. Man, I mean, yeah, we need Juan Soto. We got to get Juan Soto, man. It's someone we need, man. We need this guy in this lineup with the New York Mets. Just imagine a team with Juan Soto. Just imagine Mark Vientos. You got Lindor. This is going to be a lineup that gets drastically better offensively. And that is something, as a Met fan, you want. I want, and I think a lot of people want when it comes to the Mets. So Juan Soto, it has to happen. It has to happen. The New York Mets have to get Juan Soto. And I want to get into the latest on Juan Soto and what I've been hearing from John Heyman, from multiple reports, that apparently John Heyman has said that the New York Mets aren't the only offer that is up to $700 million. And that is very crazy to me. Like, the fact that Juan Soto is about to get an offer that is over $700 million is insane. And I don't know. I don't know what the Mets do. They got to make that offer. And I just don't want the Mets to get played. I really don't want to get the Mets to get played. I don't want this to be a Yamamoto situation and we get played. I don't want that to happen. So I want the New York Mets to do whatever they can in their power to get Juan Soto. You got to get him. You got to get him. But according to John Heyman, the Mets aren't the only team that have offered 700 mil plus or 700 mil in general. And also the Dodgers are in the lowest bid right now when it comes to the bid for Juan Soto. The bid is around 600 mil for the Dodgers and 700 mil for other teams. Now, that is according to John Heyman. If you want to trust John Heyman, you can. If you don't want to trust him, you don't want to trust him. But what I will say is, if this is true, the New York Mets made an offer that is 700 mil. And I want to talk about the news. I want to talk about the social media yesterday and what was going on with Carlos Mendoza's son, because the fact that Carlos Mendoza's son basically leaked the Mets offer is insane. Now, if you didn't know, social media last night was going crazy because of Carlos Mendoza's son. And apparently, Carlos Mendoza's son said the Mets have offered Juan Soto $700 million for 15 years. And that is insane, because 15 years, Juan Soto? Like, what? It is insane. And it's surprising, because I didn't think that the Mets were going to offer 15 years to Juan Soto. I was thinking maybe 12, maybe 13. But we are going into the 15 years. I mean, this guy is 26 years old, right? He's 26 years old. Let me look it up just to make sure. I know his perfect age, because I don't want to get it mixed up. His age, he's 26 years old, guys. 26 years old, and that is insane. Wow. I mean, when it comes to the New York Mets, though, the Mets got to get him. The Mets got to get him. And I hope that they do. I hope that they do. So I'm just going to look on social media real quick, see if anything is popping up, anything is going on, because when it comes to the Mets, you got to get this guy. You got to get this guy. This is the guy that, typically a lot of teams have been waiting for. And obviously you see Boston Red Sox making an offer. That shows that Juan Soto is so special. Honestly, he's so special. And he's a guy that you got to try to get. Everyone is trying to get him. Will the Mets get him? I hope. I hope that the New York Mets get Juan Soto, because this is a guy that's going to change your team drastically. Yes, his defense isn't amazing, but you're not getting him for his defense. You're getting him for his offense. Hey, what's going on, Jonathan? Jonathan, how you feeling? How you feeling, man? What's going on? Jonathan, I don't know if you heard, or if you guys heard, but Carlos Mendoza's son basically leaked an offer from the New York Mets that said, his son, apparently his name is Adrian or something. And on TikTok, it's looking like his son leaked an offer from the Mets to Soto. And it was 15 years, 700 mil. Now, if this is true, that is an insane offer. It is crazy to me, the fact that would even be that offer. I mean, you wish you was Carlos Mendoza's son. I don't wish I was Carlos Mendoza's son right now. Carlos Mendoza's son is getting screamed at. He's getting grounded. He's like, it's not looking good for Carlos Mendoza's son, because the fact that you leaked an MLB offer, and if this is actually true, that is not good. That is not good. Jonathan is saying, I don't want Juan Soto. The price is just too damn high. Now, listen, the price is so high, and if he gets a better contract than Shohei Ohtani, I don't even know what to say. I really don't know what to say, other than great job by Scott Boras, because wow, like if you get Juan Soto, if you get him a 700 mil offer, and it's a better contract than Shohei Ohtani, that is going to be an insane thing. It's going to be something that you never thought as a baseball fan that would happen. I honestly, I honestly don't know what's going to happen with this Juan Soto news, but man, do you? I know a lot of people are saying John Heyman on Juan Soto. Wish the Mets with so according to John Heyman, with the Mets, the issue could be the roster around them. No one to bat behind them in the lineup. They need. Oh, that's just him just talking. Listen, Juan Soto, I want him. I want him, and I think the Mets want him. Steve Cohen is going to do everything in his power to get Juan Soto. Everything in his power. And I hope he does. I hope he gets him, because if you get Juan Soto, one of the best free agent calibers in the free agency, this is going to be history made. This is going to be history made. You're going to get a free agent over the Yankees, over the Boston Red Sox, over the Dodgers. Now that is going to be insane. That is going to be insane, guys. I appreciate you guys watching the stream so far. We're just talking Mets baseball. We're on the Soto watch, and we're going to be also talking about Baty's future, McNeil's future. We got a lot to talk about. We got some rotation help to talk about. But when it comes to the New York Mets, the bidding, the Juan Soto, they got to get him. They got to get Juan Soto. This is a guy you need on this team. Let's see what Jonathan is saying here. The Mets are bidding up Juan Soto to hurt the Yankees in the long run. At the end of the day, we need Juan Soto. We do. I'm sorry. There's no other way to say it. Like, we need this guy. We need Juan Soto. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because the offense, you see the offense around the league. You see the Dodgers. You see the Phillies. You see the Brewers. You see the offenses. You see the high offenses. And the Mets had a pretty better offense than usual with Mark Vientos, with Lindor, with Pete Alonso. But it wasn't good enough to beat the Dodgers. It wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. And that is something that the Mets, they got to get better at. They got to get better at. So we will see what happens. But when it comes to the lineup, just imagine a lineup with Francisco Lindor, with Juan Soto, with Mark Vientos. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, who's going to bat behind, Soto? Who's going to bat behind him? I think Mark Vientos. I think Mark Vientos would be a great guy to bat behind Juan Soto. And if you get Alonso, then you put Alonso obviously behind Juan Soto. Me personally, I don't want Alonso back on this team. And I know that that's like surprising to say, but if you see his numbers going down year by year by year, his exit velocity, Pete Alonso, it's not looking too great for him. There seems to be an issue with Pete Alonso, and I don't know exactly what that issue is. Maybe it's his exit velocity. Maybe it's the way he's batting. I don't know. There's something wrong with Pete Alonso. Something is wrong there. And the Mets got to, if the Mets get him, they got to fix that issue, because Pete Alonso's a guy that's supposed to hit you 45 home runs, 40 home runs, and get you 100 RBIs. He didn't even get close to 100 RBIs in 2024. He had, 88 RBIs on the season, I believe. And that is a very surprising when it comes to Pete Alonso. We're talking about one of the best power bats in general. And I'm going to look up here, Pete Alonso, his numbers, Pete Alonso, stats. 88 RBIs, guys. 88 RBIs in 2024. And that is something that is very, very disappointing for him. He's a guy that he's supposed to hit you 45 home runs, 40 home runs, get you at least 100 RBIs. But I'm just not confident in Alonso anymore. I'm not. I'm really not. And defensively, he isn't the best and is not looking too great for Alonso, coming up yearly. Because people get better sometimes when they get older. And I just don't think Pete Alonso is going to be one of them. I really don't. But let's talk about Brett Baty, guys. Brett Baty, there's been some calls. There's been some interest. And the Mets, Brett Baty, teams are calling about Brett Baty. They seem to like his potential, his power. They still seem to like Baty. So do the Mets cash in and try to trade Brett Baty? I say, why not? Trade Baty for some quality pitching. because you have infielders like Ronnie Mauricio. You have infielders like Luis Angel Acuna. And these are guys that, obviously are going to play a big part in this team, a big, big part. And I hope that the New York Mets trade Baty for pitching, because the Mets need pitching and they need quality pitching. Now, I don't know exactly what they're going to get for him, but man, when it comes to Brett Baty, it's looking, like he's not going to be a Met for that long. He might get traded. And then let's talk about McNeil. Jeff McNeil, I don't know if you guys heard, but, according to the Mets, according to David Stearns, the Mets are not trying to trade Jeff McNeil. And this comes as a surprise to me. This really comes as a surprise to me because I thought, obviously, you got Luis Angel Acuna. You got Mauricio coming back from an injury. You got multiple infielders. You got Mark Vientos. It's like, is there a place for Jeff McNeil on this team? Is there a place on this team for him? Maybe there is, but I just really don't think that Jeff McNeil is going to be that great, or that important to the Mets going forward. I just don't see it. I really don't. Because if you got Ronnie Mauricio, if you got Luis Angel Acuna, I mean, you could put what makes Jeff McNeil good and really important is his versatility. That is something that is very, very important. And not a lot of players can play different positions, but Jeff McNeil can. He can play second base. He can play multiples. He can play the outfield. So Jeff McNeil, I get it why you wouldn't maybe want to trade him because of his versatility. But when it comes to the Mets and their future and the many infielders that they have, I say, why not? I mean, why not trade Jeff McNeil? Why not? I don't think that they really need Jeff McNeil. I don't think that they exactly need him. But at the end of the day, the Mets are going to do what they're going to do. David Stearns is going to do what he wants to do. And if he feels like Jeff McNeil still has some value and he still seems like he feels like he's still going to be a batting champion, then okay, it is what it is. But the Mets, I want to talk about rotation help because the Mets need rotation help. And what I was thinking is you trade Brett Baty for some quality pitching. Now, what will that be? What will that be? I don't know if you guys heard, but Shane Bieber is off the market now. He got signed. So, and you got Luis Severino signed by the A's. So pitching is, dropping. Pitching is dropping. Apparently, the Oakland A's were interested in Sean Manaea, and Sean Manaea denied them. So I think Sean Manaea wants to be with a winning caliber team. And I don't know who's that going to be. Maybe it's going to be with the Mets. Maybe it's going to be with some other team. But when it comes to the New York Mets, you got to try to get pitching. So whether you bring back Sean Manaea, whether you bring back, you can't bring back Severino anymore, but definitely whether you get a guy like Walker Buehler or you get a guy like Corbin Burns. Now, I feel like Corbin Burns is going to be the guy that gets the highest contract, and the most money when it comes to the MLB because of what Corbin Burns brings to the table. Corbin Burns has showed that he's healthy. He has been a top pitcher for some time now. And you got Walker Buehler, who's been injured, and that is something you got to watch. You have to watch. So when it comes to the New York Mets, I think that they should be interested. They should be interested in pitching, and they should be interested in a Walker Buehler. I think a Walker Buehler would be perfect for this rotation. Just imagine a rotation with Walker Buehler, Kodai Senga, and David Peterson, and maybe a Jose Budo, and then you got Frankie Montas. I think that's not the worst rotation in the world, and Walker Buehler would definitely help out your rotation. But I mean, let's talk about Soto here. Soto again. It's just crazy to me that he's going to try to get a $700 million offer, man. Let me see. Jonathan said here, I give Brett Baty one more chance. Me personally, I just feel like the Mets have gave him enough chances. That's how I feel. I feel that way. I really do. So Mets got David Stearns. That's all the Mets need. I think David Stearns is someone I am very, very confident in. And I hope that I'm happy that he is our, president of baseball operations. He's the Mets president of baseball operations because we finally got a guy that knows baseball, and I think the Frankie Montas contract, I know the Frankie Montas contract is a little confusing to Met fans because we thought we were going to go for top pitching right away, but now we're signing, this guy and Frankie Montas, but I feel like Frankie Montas could be a sleeper. He could be a sleeper. And I know a lot of people saying he's a fifth pitcher. He's at best a fifth pitcher. So when it comes to the New York Mets, though, I think Frankie Montas, and I don't know if you guys heard, but his press conference said he seemed to be happy. He was happy to be a Met. He was excited to be here. He talked to Sean Manaea. He talked to Severino. And they seem to be happy with their Mets experience, and hopefully Frankie Montas has the same experience with the New York Mets. And if Frankie Montas has a successful first year, and he could possibly opt out and go for another contract. And the Mets pitching is very, very important, and I want Frankie Montas to be good. I want him to be good. And maybe this is a guy that can be just as good as Severino. Maybe he can be just as good as Sean Manaea. I don't know. But when it comes to the New York Mets, David Stearns, I have a lot of confidence in him. And if he sees some potential in Frankie Montas, I definitely don't disagree with it. I don't. He seems to be, his strikeout numbers got better, and that is something that is important. So when it comes to the Mets, though, we got to get pitching. We have to get pitching. Pitching is a necessary. So, but obviously you're focused on Juan Soto. You got to get Juan Soto first. And I just don't know what's going on with the situation, man. I don't know when Juan Soto is going to sign. Like, when is this guy going to sign? Is it going to be tonight? Is it going to be tomorrow? And I'm working tomorrow, so definitely if it's going to be tomorrow, it's going to be a busy day for me tomorrow. Because it's going to be a busy day. So we'll see what happens with Juan Soto, but the fact that he's going to get a contract that is $700 million, I mean, it's surprising. It's insane because if he gets a better contract than Shohei Ohtani, one of the best players, probably the best player in the league, Shohei Ohtani, that is going to say something. That is really going to say something. And Juan Soto's potential, obviously, you see he's a world champion. He's never been MVP, but he, after year, he is having great years, man. And obviously with the New York Yankees, he had his best year because of Yankee Stadium. But man, the Mets, they got to get this guy. They have to get him. And I hope that they do. I want the New York Mets to get Juan Soto. We need Juan Soto. We really do. And I really feel this way. I really feel offensively, we need Juan Soto. We do. And last year, 2024, you saw it. The Mets needed someone else. JD Martinez wasn't cutting it. Jose Iglesias didn't perform in the postseason. In the postseason, as I would say, the NLCS. Jose Iglesias, his back cooled down. JD Martinez didn't do much. Jesse Winker, he was okay, but they need offense. And I think Juan Soto is the guy. And Juan Soto's the guy, man. He's the guy that you got to get. You have to get him. And I think Steve Cohen knows this. Steve Cohen knows that Juan Soto is priority. You have to get him. But can they convince him to come to the New York Mets? Can they convince him to play with Lindor, to play with Mark Vientos? Can they convince him enough to, say that, if we get you, we're not stopping there. We are going to do multiple things. And I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case because Juan Soto is a guy that you have to get. He is very, very important, man. This is a guy you have to get. And the Mets offense needs him. They need Juan Soto. And I love what we got from Mark Vientos in 2024. I love it. I honestly love it. Like, he showed something that he showed to be actually one of the best bats in the Mets lineup. And that is important. And yeah, he was given a chance and he ran with it. He was given a chance and he completely ran with it. Now, will the Mets get Juan Soto? I mean, all you could do is hope for it. But I just don't know, man. Jonathan saying here, the Mets got no chance. Soto is a ring chaser. He's going to the Dodgers. The Dodgers? Do we really think that he's going to the Dodgers? Well, right now the Dodgers have the lowest bid according to John Heyman of $600 million. So they have the lowest bid according to John Heyman. So I don't know if he's going to go to the Dodgers. If he wants money, he's going to go to another team. What will that other team be? I don't know, man. What's going on, Nando? How you feeling? Appreciate you coming to the stream. Rich Hill will be the biggest free agent the Mets get. Soto to the Sox. I mean, at the end of the day, that better not be the case. It better not be the case. I mean, Rich Hill? Are we kidding me, man? Are we kidding? I got confidence in David Stearns. I got confidence in Steve Cohen. I have confidence. That they're going to do everything that they can to get Juan Soto. Everything that they can. But I just don't know. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. We will see. Nando said, joking, Soto will be a Met. That's the the positivity. That's the attitude that we want. I appreciate all you guys' opinions, but Juan Soto is a guy that the Mets need, man. We need him. We need him. And but how are we feeling, guys? How are we feeling about McNeil? Because Jeff McNeil is a guy that is versatile, and defensively he's versatile. He hasn't been a batting champion since 2022. But what do you do here? Like, the David Stearns basically said they don't want to trade Jeff McNeil. It comes as a surprise to me because I thought they would want to trade him. With all the infielders that they have, I thought that they would want to trade him. But I guess they don't want to trade him. I guess, and maybe it's because he can play multiple positions. Maybe. But when it comes to Jeff McNeil, you have Ronnie Mauricio coming back from injury, and hopefully he gets healthy. I want Ronnie Mauricio to be healthy. I don't want him to be traded. I do not want my boy Ronnie Mauricio to be traded. I feel like Ronnie Mauricio is going to be a star player for this team like Mark Vientos. That is how I feel. I feel honestly like that. And according to in the offseason in the Venezuelan league, Luis Angel Acuna has been killing it. And I mean killing it. He did go 0 for 7, I think, today, but he has been killing it. He's been hitting home runs. He's been hitting, and it's the Venezuelan league. So, I mean, it's not, the best league in the world, but I think when it comes to the Mets, Luis Angel Acuna is going to be a major player for this team going forward. He is. And I just don't know, though. We will see. But the Mets with Baty also, let's talk about Baty. Trade Baty or trade McNeil. I think what do you guys who would you want to trade? Would you guys want to trade Brett Baty or McNeil? Because to me, I want Brett Baty traded for quality pitching. I think that the Mets need quality pitching. And will that be the case? Will they get quality pitching? I don't know. I think Brett Baty, a lot of teams like his offense, a lot of teams like his power potential, and they see something in Brett Baty. And I saw something in Brett Baty. I feel like there is some potential there. He has a beautiful swing, but it just hasn't worked in the major leagues. It hasn't. And he's been giving, by the Mets multiple chances. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Brett Baty, but it's something that you gotta talk about. You gotta. It's something that has to be talked about. So at the end of the day, the New York Mets have to get better. And if this is a way for the Mets to get better, then why not? Why not trade Brett Baty for quality pitching? What will that quality pitching actually be? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the thing is, his value, like what is his value? He's a controllable guy. So you get a young guy, you get a controllable guy, you get a guy that can play third base, you get a guy that can play, like I said, a third. He played third base pretty good when he was in the major leagues. He got a lot better, but I just don't know, man. You're trading Brett Baty for rock bottom prices. Like if we're gonna trade Brett Baty, it has to be for some quality pitching. Maybe a fourth starter or something, or some depth. We need something. We can't just get some rock bottom prices. I don't want to trade Brett Baty for nothing. The Mets traded Travis Darnell for nothing, and you saw him become a big part of the Braves. Win a championship. And I don't want that to be the case with a Brett Baty. I don't want that to be the case. So we'll see. But see here. I just don't know. Like Brett Baty, or McNeil. To me, I would trade McNeil, man. Yeah, his value is low. I know you're right. You're right, Jonathan. You're right about that. His value is definitely low. And like if you're not gonna get if you're not gonna get something for him, then don't trade him. If you're not gonna get something for him, then do not trade him. But if you are, then why not? Then why not? I mean, you can. What I feel that the teams like from Brett Baty is the fact that he's controllable and the fact that he's young, and they like his power potential. So there's still some type of argument that Brett Baty could, be that teams are interested in Brett Baty. And I hope that the Mets, I hope that the Mets trade him. I really do. Like if you get quality pitching or you get something that's quality, then trade him. And McNeil is a guy that I want traded as well, but I just don't know. The only person of valuable is Brandon Sproat and Ryan Clifford. Well, I feel like Jet Williams is pretty valuable. And that draft pick, Carson Bench, the recent draft pick, I think he is valuable as well. Kevin Parada, his prospect has gone down. His prospect rank has gone down. And yeah, so when it comes to the New York Mets, the Mets have some prospects that the teams could be interested in. Like obviously Brandon Sproat is a guy that I'm sure some teams would be interested. Now Blade Tidwell is maybe a guy that the teams would be interested, but I don't know how much. And that is something that has to be talked about because Blade Tidwell was a guy that I thought was going to be a big part of the Mets in AAA. And I know that Jet Williams also, his injuries, he's been injured and he's missed most of the season. And that is something that you got to watch when it comes to Jet Williams. But I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see at the end of the day. We will see. So at the end of the day, the Mets, they got to get better. Whatever that way is, get better. Like, get better. That is what you need to do. If you are David Stearns, you are Steve Cohen, just make this team better. And if that involves Juan Soto, because it obviously does, then get him. Go get him. Go get Juan Soto, man. Go get him. But I mean, we will see at the end of the day what happens with Juan Soto. When do you guys think that the Juan Soto is going to sign? Do you think he's going to sign tonight? Do you think he's going to sign tomorrow? To me, I feel like he's going to sign tomorrow. And it's just taking some time, man. This whole Juan Soto business is insane. The fact that the Mets, apparently his son, Carlos Mendoza's son, leaked the Mets offer to Juan Soto is another insane wrinkle to this story. Another insane wrinkle to this story is John Heyman basically saying the Mets aren't the only team that has offered 700 mil, to Juan Soto. So he's getting offers from all over the place. And according to John Heyman, the Dodgers are the lowest bid. I don't know if that's exactly true, but when it comes to Juan Soto, nobody knows what's really true. Nobody really knows what's true. And it's something that has to be talked about. It has to be talked about because these stories and all that, Juan Soto, there's a lot of people that are just trying to get their name out there. That's all they're trying to do, get their name out there, put up stories. So is Juan Soto going to go to the Dodgers? I really don't think the Dodgers Juan Soto is going to go to, and it would definitely surprise me if he goes to the lowest bid when it comes to money. That is going to be very, very surprising. So we will see what happens. But 15 years, guys, for 700 mil, if that doesn't get the deal done with the New York Mets, then I don't know what does. I don't know what does, because this guy is 26 years old. So if you're giving this guy 15 years, 700 mil, he's 26, guys, 26. Like that, he's going to go all the way up to 41. And that is insane to me. Like, what? Insane. It is insane, and it's something that I just don't see it. Like 15 years? 15, it's insane. Like, he's not going to play up to he's 40. He's not playing until he's 41. That is not happening. It is not happening. And it's something that like has to be talked about. These contract offers are insane. Nobody is really that going to be that good after 37. They're not. You saw JD Martinez, the Mets signed him in the offseason, and they tried to, finally sign a DH caliber bat that has power. And we were all excited. We were all excited about JD Martinez. All excited. And then he let us down. He just didn't hit enough. He was too old. He broke down, and it is what it is. So when it comes to the Mets got to get better. That's all I want from the Mets, to get better. That is it, man. I appreciate you guys watching the stream, guys. My name is Randy. You're watching the All Things Mets channel. This is where you get your latest Mets media. We love talking Mets baseball here. We love talking about everything Mets. So, man, when it comes to the Mets, the Juan Soto news is something that we need to find out. We need to get the Juan Soto news tonight. We got to get it tonight. Like, come on, like tonight or tomorrow. But, man, like, who's he going to sign with? Who is he going to sign? Is he going to sign with the Boston Red Sox? Is he going to sign with the Yankees? To me, I feel like it's going to come down to two teams. It's going to come down to the Yankees, and it's going to come down to the New York Mets. That, to me, that's what Soto will sign after or around Christmas with the Dodgers for 12 years, 600 mil. I don't think he's going to take that long. He's going to be signing soon, like very, very soon. There is a lot of talk that he will sign maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe by, Monday. Maybe he will announce it the first day of the winter meetings. So I don't think it's going to take that long. It's not going to take up to Christmas. But I will say that this has to happen soon. It has to happen soon, because Juan Soto and Scott Boras know that if they keep holding out, there's not going to be a lot of moves made. There's a lot of teams that are interested in Juan Soto. Pete Alonso is going to be is a free agent. You got Willie Adames, free agent. You got Christian Walker, free agent. You got multiple guys that you got. Anthony Santander, free agent. So when it comes to free agents, Juan Soto knows he has to sign soon. He knows he has to sign soon, or they're not going to wait anymore. So will it be 700 mil, 15 years for Juan Soto? That to me is going to be an insane offer. It's going to be crazy. And like I said, if he gets a better contract than one of the best players in baseball, Shohei Ohtani, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Because Juan Soto is a special player. I'm not saying he's not special. He is an offensive force. He really is. Defensively, he isn't that great. He doesn't have the best arm. He doesn't run that great. And this is all has to be said. And how do we feel, how do we feel that Juan Soto is going to do in Citi Field? We've seen Juan Soto play right field in Yankee Stadium, in other stadiums. And to me, his defense in Citi Field, it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be a real adjustment. And I hope that I really do hope that the Mets figure out what to do with Juan Soto. To me, I would love to move Juan Soto to left field rather than have him play right field, but he's a right fielder and he's probably going to play, right field for the New York Mets or some other team. Man, it's insane. It's honestly insane. Yeah, there's not that much buzz right now when it comes to, let's see here. Yeah, there's not that much buzz right now when it comes to the Soto news tonight. But I think that the Mets, like, just make your offer already, man. Like, just make your final offer and just deal with it. Like, if he doesn't want to come for $700 million, 15 years to the New York Mets, forget him. At the end of the day, like, I want Juan Soto on this team, but I just don't want the Mets to get played. I don't want this to be a situation where the Mets are getting played. What's going on, Victor? How we feeling, Victor? Monticello said he loves playing at Citi Field. Okay, well, if he loves playing at Citi Field, then that is great for the Mets. It is great for the Mets. And you hope that that's the case. Now, I just want this deal done already, man. I want this deal done. I want the Mets to get Juan Soto, and I just want it to be official already. Like, man, this waiting game, it is horrible. Like, it really is. Like, it just, because it's like you can prepare for the Yankees to keep him, or you can prepare for the Mets to get him, or you can prepare for the Dodgers to get him. Now, if Juan Soto goes to the Dodgers, I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say, because that to me will make baseball unwatchable for a season, for multiple seasons probably. Because if you get Juan Soto to the Dodgers, just imagine Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, Tommy Edman, Mookie Betts. It's just that's going to be insane. To me, that's going to be insane. And I hope he doesn't go to the Dodgers. I really don't want him to go to the Dodgers. But how we feeling, guys? How we feeling about, Brett Baty? How we feeling about McNeil? Anything you guys want to talk about? Any other things you want to talk about? If you don't want to talk about Soto, you want to talk about pitching, we can talk about pitching. We can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But man, when it comes to the Mets, you got to get better. This is an important offseason, a very, very important offseason for the Mets. And it's something you got to get better. At the end of the day, that is what you have to do. You have to get better. And I hope that they do. So we will see, man. We will see. Frankie Montas had a press conference today with SNY and with the Mets. And basically, he seems to be happy. He seems to be happy to be a Met. And he was feeling good. And he was very, very happy about the opportunity. It seems like Frankie Montas wants to strike out guys more. And you saw that with his numbers strike out. His numbers definitely went up, strikeout wise. So when it comes to the Mets, this is a very important signing. It is a very, very important signing that they signed Frankie Montas, because I think this guy, Frankie Montas, could be a sleeper. He could be a guy that surprises a lot of people. And I mean a lot of people. I'm sorry. Soto likes to play at City Field. Yeah, no, I know what you meant. Soto, yeah, like if he likes to play at City Field, then that is beautiful, honestly. Like I want the Mets to get him. We got to get him. Like this is a guy to me the Mets need. The Mets need this guy. You got to get Juan Soto. And finally the Mets are in a place like they have finally they have an owner that wants to spend money and wants to go for these big free agents like Juan Soto. This is someone that the Mets I hope that they get. Like this is someone I hope that they get. And another thing that I want to talk about is I don't know if you guys know, but Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be a free agent after the 2025 season. And to me, I feel like the Mets, if they were able to make a trade for Vladimir Guerrero Jr., just imagine how, man, the Mets, that would be insane. I mean, insane. Like, wow. Imagine a team with Juan Soto and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Mark Vientos, Francisco Lindor. That is going to be an insane lineup. And to me, I feel like with teams in the luxury tax and what's going on in baseball, you got to get better offensively. Like that is something big. Obviously, pitching is important. And the Mets have a lot of moves to make. It isn't just starting pitching, it's the bullpen. The bullpen has to be fixed up. The bullpen has to be fixed, and the bullpen is important. We saw how important the bullpen was to the Dodgers. They even had bullpen games, and they won. But they won because of their offense. They won how great their offense was. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna grab some water real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Right. All righty, guys. Yeah, at the end of the day, Randy dropping the kids at the pool. Let's see here. Victor said, put Baty and McNeil, put them on the chopping block where you can get maybe some good pitching. I think when it comes to the Mets, why not trade McNeil? Why not trade Baty? Like, if you can get something of quality, then trade them. But at the end of the day, we don't know exactly what the Mets want to do. I think that David Stern said that Jeff McNeil, he doesn't want to trade him. He doesn't want to trade Jeff McNeil. And I'm like, why? Why you don't want to trade Jeff McNeil? Like, you have so many infielders. You have Ronnie Mauricio coming back from injury. You have Mark Vientos. You have Luis Angel Acuna. You have Lindor. This is like infield. So many infielders that you were gonna have, and maybe you don't want to trade Jeff McNeil because of his defensive, boy, I can't talk. Versatility. My goodness, that was crazy. Randy, should the Mets sign Max Scherzer or Verlander for 1 year, 15 mil? Hell no. Hell to the hell no. That is not happening. The Mets are not signing Verlander, Max Scherzer ever again. Like that has passed, and we are done with that. We are done with that. I never thought that was going to be the luxury for success when it comes to the Mets. Signing a 40-year-old or a 39-year-old, I just didn't think it was the case. I didn't think it was the case. But yeah, man, how are you guys feeling, though? How are you guys feeling about the Mets, the current state of the roster? How are we feeling? Anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about Soto? You guys want to talk about Baty? You want to talk about Walker Buehler? You want to talk about Corbin Burns? We could talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But, man, when it comes – and Shane Bieber, has signed I think he signed with the Cleveland Indians. Let me see. The Queen Guardians. Let me see. Shane Bieber here. Shane Bieber turns down biggest offers return. Yeah. So Shane Bieber is back with the Guardians. He's back with the Guardians. Hey, what's going on, Sonic? How we feeling? How we feeling? We need players for the future, not in the past. Yeah, we don't. We need players for the future, Sonic. We really do, and it's something that the Mets they have right now. They really have. The Mets have Ronnie Mauricio coming back from injury, and I hope that he gets healthy. I really hope that he can start the he can be in spring training. He can be healthy by the time you get to the regular season. I really, and I'm hoping that Ronnie Mauricio gets healthy because I feel personally Ronnie Mauricio is going to be a very, very important player for the Mets going forward. And you got Luis on Acuna. Angel Acuna has been absolutely killing it, guys. Killing it. And it's something that has to be said because Luis Angel Acuna is very, very important to the Mets as well. So you got Ronnie Mauricio, you got Mark Vientos, you got Luis Angel Acuna, you got multiple guys. These are young guys that can be a foundation for the Mets to come. And I mean a real foundation. This is going to be your core. It really is. And to me, I think Ronnie Mauricio is going to be a very, very good player. And Mark Vientos has proven to be a very, very good player and almost a superstar. I mean, Mark Vientos had a better postseason than Francisco Lindor in the NLCS, So it's something that has to be said. Victor said, Senga's the team ace. Well, yeah, Senga's the team ace right now. When the Mets lose the Soto sweepstakes, should the Mets sign Jesse Winker for right field? I mean, I don't know that. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know if Jesse Winker is gonna come back to the Mets. I really don't know. Sonic said Baty hasn't done much. Same with McNeil, Squirrel Boy. Yeah, they haven't done much. Baty, McNeil, they just haven't done much. And it's something that has to be, said because they haven't done much. They really haven't. They haven't. And to me, I really feel that you should trade these guys. Like if you can get some type of quality, trade them. Trade them. And trade them now. So Shane Bieber is off the block. Shane Bieber has signed back with the Guardians. To me, that was an option for the Mets. I feel like it's someone that could have been an option, but now maybe Nathan Eovaldi could be an option. I think Nathan Eovaldi could be an option for the New York Mets. And I kind of like Nathan Eovaldi. I think Nathan Eovaldi is a pitcher that's good, man. I would love to see Nathan Eovaldi as a Met. I really do. I wanted him, in the trade deadline. I wanted the Mets to trade for Nathan Eovaldi, but they didn't make the move. But you got the teams. You got all the teams looking for Baty. Yeah, a lot of teams are looking for Brett Baty right now. Brett Baty is someone that the teams are looking for right now. The teams are calling about. So that is something that is important. It really is because Brett Baty is a guy that has power. He's young. He's, controllable. And control is a big, big thing with a young player. It's a big thing. So the fact that you can have a team control of Brett Baty, that's going to make him very attractive to other teams. Very attractive. And it's something that has to be recognized. So we will see what happens with Brett Baty, what happens with McNeil. But to me, Brett Baty is a guy that the Mets should cash in on. They really should. And I feel that the Mets to me, they've given Brett Baty multiple chances. And I mean multiple chances. And it hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out. So I want the Mets to, to get better. That's all I want for the Mets, to get better. Just get better. That's it. What's going on, Stanley? How we feeling? How we feeling, Stanley? Thanks for coming to the stream. Appreciate you. Let's see. Resign Sean Mania and Alonso. So you're saying you want to sign Sean Mania and Alonso. To me, I feel like Sean Mania would be a really good re-signing. To me, I feel like Sean Mania got better, and I think he's just gonna get better and better. To me, his age, isn't the best, but to me, he showed that he can pitch really good. And what I want to talk about with Alonso here is Alonso, to me, his exit velocity is going down year by year by year. He's not getting better. He had his worst year in 2024 as a Met in the regular season. Obviously, he was clutch in the postseason, in that wild card game, and it's something to be respected. And I know a lot of Met fans want Alonso back. Me personally, I don't know if I want him back. I really don't. I feel like he is not going to age well. He's not. That's how I feel. I really feel that way. So we will see at the end of the day what happens, but it's something that has to be said. So Brett Baty, trade McNeil, trade Baty. You got to trade something for some quality, like some quality. Frankie Montas. Yeah, Frankie Montas just joined the blue and orange. Yeah, Frankie Montas is now a New York Met officially. And to me, I feel like Frankie Montas is a guy that could be just like a Severino. He really could. He could have a sleeper, he could be a sleeper and he could have a great year. He really could. It seemed like his attitude was good. He seemed to be happy to be a Met. He's friends with Sean Mania. Maybe that will make Sean Mania want to come back. I don't know, but it's something to be said. It really is. So we will see what happens with Frankie Montas, what happens with the Mets, what happens with Soto. But when it comes to Soto, you got to get him. Go get Juan Soto, man. Go get him. Go get him. And I hope that they do. I really hope that they do. But man, we gotta get him, man. Like Juan Soto is so important to a lot of teams, but I feel like the Mets, he would be so important. Like just imagine a lineup with Francisco Lindor, because Francisco Lindor is going to be your leadoff hitter now. Francisco Lindor, you got to me Soto, you could probably bat him second, and then you could have Mark Vientos bat third, and then you could have Brandon Nimmo, maybe not Brandon Nimmo cleanup. That's something that has to be said. Where does Brandon Nimmo bat if you have Soto in the lineup? Where does he bat? I just don't know. Stanley said, what about Jesse Winker returning? To me, I feel like it could happen. It could happen. Jesse Winker could happen. I feel like he really did enjoy his time with the Mets, coming from the trade deadline. He had some fun. And I know a lot of Met fans, didn't like him at first when he was on the opposing team, but he showed that he has energy. He's a baller. He likes to just play baseball. He's enthusiastic. It's something that has to be said for Jesse Winker. And I mean, do you bring back Jesse Winker? If the Mets want to bring back Jesse Winker, they're going to bring back Jesse Winker. At the end of the day, if they want to bring him back, they're going to bring him back. Do I want him back? I don't hate it. I don't hate it. But to me, the Mets, if they get better offensively, then I'm fine with that. But the Mets, they don't have Bader anymore. Bader's a free agent. You got Tyrone Taylor. That's still someone you have. You got Brandon Nimmo. You got Starling Marte. But Starling Marte is getting older, and he's a guy that has injury problems always. And so I don't know. I mean, maybe you do get Jesse Winker, but will Jesse Winker make this lineup that much better? Will he make the outfield that much better? I mean, It could be the case. I mean, it could. I feel like there's better options out there, right? There got to be some better options out there than Jesse Winker to me. Like, let me see here. I'm gonna go try to look at the free agents over here. Yeah, like the Mets, they gotta get better. They gotta get better. Let's look at the outfielders. Let's see outfielders. We got. Oh, Profar is a free agent. I mean, how do you guys feel about Profar? I think he's a guy that's definitely intriguing. He had a really good year with the Padres, really good year. And he was probably the last guy to sign in free agency, and he had probably his best year. So I think Profar is a guy that is important. He's 32 years old, and you got Conforto and is a free agent as well. To me, I don't want Conforto back. I really don't. And then you got Tommy Pham is 37. That's just, to me, that's too old. Eddie Rosario 33. Mets tried that. Kike Hernandez 33. To me, I would like to see Kike Hernandez as a Met. I really would like to see that. But then you got Teoscar Hernandez, you got Juan Soto, you got Anthony Santander, you got Max Kepler, you got Jason Hayward, and you got Jock Peterson as a DH. Jock Peterson could be intriguing. He could be an intriguing option for the New York Mets. To me, that could be a very, very intriguing option. Profar got DFA'd by the Rockies twice. Yeah, that is true, right? He did get DFA'd by the Rockies. I mean, Eloy Jimenez is a free agent? Wow. That is interesting. I could bet Uncle Steve will go up to 750 mil. I mean, if he does, that's going to be insane. If he goes over 750 mil, I mean, what are we talking here? What are we talking about? Like, we're almost at 800 mil for one player? Like, I don't even know, man. I really don't even know. Whoever gets Juan Soto, I'll tell you this, they're going to be happy because you get one of the best bats of all time. But I just don't know, man. Damn, we've been on stream for an hour already? Wow. That is insane. Yeah, to me, the Mets got to get better. And there's some intriguing options out there, guys. You got Jock Peterson. That it could be a very intriguing option as a DH. Just imagine Jock Peterson in the Met uniform. To me, I think that would be very, very intriguing. So you got Juan. If you get Juan Soto, imagine if you could get Jock Peterson. Or maybe an Eloy Jimenez. That is going to be interesting. Now, Anthony Santander is probably a guy that I would go after if I'm the Mets if we don't get Juan Soto. Because we got to talk about plan B, right? There has to be a plan B if you don't get Juan Soto. Go for a guy like Anthony Santander. Go for Willie Adames. I mean, I don't want as much as I feel like Willie Adames would make this team better. But to me, Ronnie Mauricio is going to be a very, very important player coming back. He really is. So there's some intriguing options, guys, in free agency. You got multiple free agents, and it's something that should be said. It really is. Like, you got Jock Peterson, free agent, Eloy Jimenez. You got Jesse Winker. You got Harrison Bader. And to me, I feel like the Harrison Bader has the Mets' interest in Harrison Bader has passed. To me, I don't feel like the Mets are going to go for Harrison Bader anymore. He had a pretty good year. He had an okay year. Defensively, he's always been really good. Offensively, he just didn't do enough. And then you got guys like, Brandon Nimmo. To me, Brandon Nimmo is someone that has to be talked about. Let me just close the door real quick. Yeah. So Brandon Nimmo, like, he's a very important player to the Mets. He really is. But he seemed like he struggled a lot in 2024. Like, he really struggled in the beginning, and then he got better, and then he struggled again, and then he, kept struggling. And it's something that has to be said for Brandon Nimmo, because he's a very, very important player to the Mets. This is a guy you're gonna have in the Mets for years. So Brandon Nimmo needs to be better. He has to be better. And I hope he does become better in 2025. I hope he figures out what type of player he wants to be. Does he want to be a power guy? Does he want to be a guy that can hit for average and maybe hit a couple of home runs? I think Brandon Nimmo wants to hit for power, but can he hit for so much power? I don't know. Because without sacrificing average, it's something that has to be said. But what do the Mets do about the rotation, guys? Rotation help. Like, do we sign a Walker Buehler? Do we sign a Corbin Burns? Now, to me, Corbin Burns is going to be probably the highest pricing free agent pitching. Definitely he's going to be the highest price, probably going to be the highest contract when it comes to pitching. And pitching is very, very important. Pitching is very, very important. And it's going to be something that you got Sean Manaea, you got Corbin Burns, you got Walker Buehler, you got Max Fried. Apparently the Yankees are very, very interested in Max Fried. They won another second Zoom with Max Fried. So I think if the Yankees don't get Juan Soto, they're going to try to go for Max Fried. Or maybe if they get him, they're going to go for Max Fried as well. Who knows? The Yankees want to get back to the World Series. Will they get back there? We'll see. But the Mets, this is something that the Mets got to become better. Like, pitching is important. Right now, our pitching rotation is Kodai Senga, David Peterson, Jose Budo, probably, because I don't know if he's going to be a part of the rotation or he's going to be in the bullpen. Stanley said Juan Soto isn't going to LA or Toronto. It's the Yankees, it's the Red Sox, or it's the Mets. Yeah, the fact that the Red Sox are even in this is insane to me, because they don't spend money. The Red Sox don't spend a lot of money. So I'm so surprised that they are in the running. Like, what? It's insane. So, but I guess they've been saving a lot of money, and they've definitely been interested in Juan Soto for some time. So we will see, man. But if I'm Juan Soto, I don't know what I would do. I really don't, because what does Juan Soto want? Does he want the most money? Does he want to play with Boston, that is not a championship team, but can be? But needs to fix up a lot of things. They need to fix up their pitching. Their offenses definitely will help with Soto for sure, because they got Yoshida, they got Tristan Casas, they got, Connor Wong. So when it comes to Boston, and the Yankees and the Mets, you hope it's the Mets. I hope it's the Mets. But if we do get Juan Soto, I don't want the Mets to stop here, because you got to get better. The rotation needs to get help. The bullpen got to get better. So to me, this year is actually going to be crazy for the bullpen market. We have a lot of bullpen guys, a lot of bullpen market guys. You saw Aroldis Chapman was the first, domino to fall there. And to me, Aroldis Chapman to the Red Sox, it's not a bad deal, not a bad deal. But the Mets, I just want the Mets to get better. Like, that's what they have to do, get better. Will they get better? Hopefully. But I don't want, signing Frankie Montas, I wasn't very, very excited about. But now I've had some time to think about, and, maybe Frankie Montas is going to be good. Maybe he's going to be just as good as Severino. Maybe he's going to be better than Severino. Maybe he's going to have a better year. Who knows? Yeah. I think like what do you guys think? Do you guys think he's gonna sign tonight or do you guys think that he's gonna sign tomorrow? Or you think he's gonna sign the first day of the winter meetings? Because the winter meetings he'll definitely probably be signed by. Like he will. They don't want to hold this out anymore. You know, Juan Soto. There's a lot of guys that have to sign. A lot of guys have to sign. You got Jock Peterson. You got Pete Alonso. You got multiple guys. Tommy Pham. You got a lot of guys that need to sign. A lot of guys. Christian Walker. So we will see what happens. But the Mets, man, I hope they just get better. Yeah, we could talk about Jose Iglesias. What about Jose Iglesias? To me, I like Jose Iglesias. I feel like Jose Iglesias is a good player. He's a good utility guy. He's a guy that, he's important. He was important to the Mets. He brought the spark. He brought some energy, and he was good in the clubhouse. He's a really good clubhouse guy. But are you bringing him back? Are you going to bring back Jose Iglesias? I don't know if they bring him back. I really don't know if they bring him back because now you have Acuna. And you got Acuna, that's going to be a part of the mix. And then you got Jeff McNeil. Hopefully, you get Ronnie Mauricio healthy and returning. We will see. I don't think he started baseball activities just yet, and that is a little concerning to me. It's very, very good because I want the Ronnie Mauricio to become a big part of this team. I really do. I think he has so much potential. I think he's going to be a stud for the New York Mets. I really do. And then you got Mark Vientos. Mark Vientos has proven that he's going to be, important to the Mets foundation. He's proven it. So, do you sign back Jose Iglesias? That is the question. To me, I don't hate it. I think why not? Give him one more year. Give him a year. Give him a year. Give him a year contract. Give him maybe, give him a year, 16 million, 15 million. To me, or maybe 15 million, 60 million is a little too high, right? Maybe that's a little too high for Jose Iglesias. Maybe 7 million. Maybe, who knows? Bring him back though. Why not? Bring him back. Bring back Jose Iglesias. I think he's a good clubhouse guy, and I don't have no problem with him. I don't think that Jose Iglesias should be blamed for, cooling down in the postseason because he had a really good time with the Mets, really good regular season. And he's a career 280 hitter. He really is. So when it comes to Jose Iglesias, he's an important player. He's an important player. And I think he's a good player. I really do. So at the end of the day, the Mets got to get better. However that is, then I'll be fine with that. Like, I just want the Mets to get better. Like, we got to get better. This is a team that you made it to the NLCS with Luis Severino, Quintana, Sean Manaea. Like, it wasn't the greatest rotation in the world. A Senga that was hurt. Guys like Jose Iglesias, guys like Jesse Winker. You made it to the NLCS. That's it. That says something. Like, so now this is the year to go after it. You gotta go. 2025 has to be a big year for the New York Mets, and I hope that they really do get Juan Soto and get maybe a Jock Peterson or someone like that, and that will definitely help this lineup, man. I definitely would love to see Juan Soto in this lineup with Jock Peterson. That is going to be a really a good lineup, man. Because just imagine a lineup with let's say Jock Peterson as the DH, but and then Brandon Nimmo, you got Soto. That is another great question by Stanley there, man. Stanley, you coming up with the great questions. Does Soto does Jose Butto start? To me, Jose Butto, I like him a lot. I think Jose Burro, I do like him a lot, but his problem is his control. His control has been an issue, and that is something he has to fix up. He has to fix that up. But to me, I feel like Jose Burro is in the same spot that Seth Lugo was, because when the Mets had Seth Lugo, he wanted to be a starter, but they had him as a reliever because of how important he was to their bullpen. Now in 2025, it depends on what you do for the bullpen, but Jose Burro is probably going to be, if they don't sign a lot of guys for the bullpen, then he's probably going to be in the bullpen. And I don't like it. To me, I want him to be a starter. I want Jose Burro to be a starter. I think Jose Burro is a guy that can be a really good starter. He has a nasty changeup. He has a good fastball. He's a guy that can be a number 3, maybe, a number 3 starter. I think he can be a number 3 starter. I really can. I really think that. So if the Mets were to have Kodai Senga, David Peterson, Jose Burro, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Because if you get a healthy Kodai Senga, a guy that definitely, because we saw when Kodai Senga first came back, like his first, day on City Field before the injury, he was absolutely killing it. His fastball looked good. His ghost fork looked good. His pitches looked really, really good. And David Peterson, credit to David Peterson, he had a really good year. Really, really good year. And a very surprising year, actually. I was very surprised with how David Peterson finally figured it out, because he was a first-round draft pick, and I'm like, wait a minute, when is this guy going to figure it out? I want this guy to figure it out. But Jose Burro, to me, is an important guy to the Mets, because you got Tyler McGill, who the Mets have given multiple chances, and he's just not that good. He's not that good. So at the end of the day, the Mets have to get better. And if that is with Burro as a starter, then beautiful. But what I want for the Mets is to fix his control, because Burro's control is something that I don't like. I don't like that he throws a lot of balls. He walks a lot of guys. And as a starter, you don't want a starter that does that. You want a starter that has control. So we will see. We will see. Let me see if any latest news is popping up. Nothing so far. Nothing so far. Apparently the Astros offered Alex Bregman a 6-year contract for $165 million, and he wants $200 million. I think Alex Bregman is a good player, but man, $200 million. Yeah, I don't know, man. Stanley said the A's overpaid for Sevy. Yeah, the A's definitely overpaid for Sevy. The A's definitely overpaid for him, man. Like 3 years, 60 something million. I mean, that's a crazy contract, man. To me, is a crazy contract. I like Sevy. I think Sevy's a good player. He pitched really good, and his issue has been health. But man, like, whoo, 3 years and 660 something million, man. Wow. What's going on, Turo Smalls? How you doing? Appreciate you coming to the stream. Bregman needs to stay with Houston for them to be good. Yeah, I definitely feel like Alex Bregman is going to be staying with the Houston Astros. I feel that way. But man, we are going to be ending the stream here, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I appreciate you guys. If you enjoyed the stream, definitely, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Man, I really do feel that the Mets are going to get Juan Soto, and I hope that they do. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and let's hope that the Mets get Juan Soto. I definitely, once Juan Soto signs, I will definitely make a video about it. So I appreciate you guys so much. Have a good one. I'm going to get some dinner. We've been on stream for an hour and 20 minutes. It was a great stream. And yeah, man, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch me, because it really means a lot. Thank Jonathan. Love you too, buddy. Appreciate you. Turo, thank you so much. Stanley, thank you so much. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.